Hey guys, I just wanted to give you an update. The last picture you saw was me sitting in the car waiting for my birth mother to call me back. Last night she called while I was diamond painting, and this morning when I woke up there was still a drill stuck in the end of the diamond painting. I dropped it all, but my cell did not have great service, so I had to go and drive to the top of the hill and wait for her to call me back. So that's where that picture was taken. I'm not sure why I didn't film a video. I think I was just like all caught up in the moment. Yeah, so I was really nervous. It was really neat to hear her voice. We started talking and she, neither one of us knew what to say, how much to share, There was still that little bit of, I want her to tell me something that makes me realize it's her and that I'm not being scammed. All those, like, I guess, worst case scenarios and things. So, I made the mistake of saying, and this would have sealed it, if I would have just not said this, and said, my foster parents called me this name, because she had said, I got to name you, I got to hold you, I got to spend time with you, and her saying this and me still not thinking it's definitely me. But I said to her, I wish I would have said, what did you name me? But instead I said, oh, well, my foster parents called me this. And she's like, that's what I named you. And it still did not, I was like, why didn't I let her tell me that? That would have made me feel better. And so we talked, and she said she had a son that didn't know I existed. So that would be, something I wanted her to tread lightly on, because I don't want to hurt anybody in any of this. It's very important to me that it doesn't cause problems. And so she seemed like she wanted to tell him and was going to tell him. And I said, well, let's do the 23andMe or Ancestry, whichever one you want, and we'll go from there. So we got off the phone with the idea that she was going to do that. She promised she wouldn't leave me hanging. She would call me as soon as she knew, because I know that last clip of I was getting pretty anxious and getting a little tired of waiting. But she promised me she would get back to me and do it in a timely manner, and so we can figure this out. Well, so I don't know how in the world I went to bed last night. I have no idea. But here's the thing. She told me her first name. She told me what my last name would have been if I was to look for a birth certificate in the town I was born. I didn't think it would be there. Usually they seal those. Anyway, so I knew what her name was. So I immediately, of course, go into Facebook Detective, and I find her on Facebook, and I think I found her son. And so that was very interesting. But now I got up this morning and I called Charleston, West Virginia, because that's the whole state that everything took place in. And just a moment. Okay, somebody pulled in next to me, and we know them, and I didn't want them to see me talking to myself. But anyway, I called Charleston, West Virginia, the adoption department. They put me in touch with a lady who does a thing called mutual consent. So she says, well, give me your name before any marriages. So I gave her my name before any marriages. She couldn't find me. She said, well, do you know what your name was before the adoption? Well, now I do, because, I was told last night. So I tell her, and she says, oh, there you are. I was like, my heart dropped to my toes. And so, I had told her that I had done the 23andMe and Ancestry, and had spoken to a woman who I thought was my birth mother. So she says, well, tell me who you think or the name of this person who you think might be your birth mother. And so I told her, and she's like, and of course she can't tell me anything. She said, I really think that would be worth pursuing. So, yeah. And the fact that she found the pre-adopted name and found this information underneath that, yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, yeah, so the person who called me last night is my birth mother. It is so hard to wrap my head around that. So hard. I don't know. I just don't know. But it makes me have all sort of feelings, and like, I'm nervous. I can't wait to talk to her again. I have lots of questions now. I was afraid to ask her anything last night. It felt like I was like, I don't know, like being nosy. But now I'm like, oh, now I got some questions. But I don't know. And I had a couple odd feelings. And the first one was, I was a little sad that the mystery was solved. Excuse me. But I was a little sad that the mystery had been solved, and I was no longer like, I don't know who my birth parents are. Well, I'm sure I now know who my birth mom is, so hopefully that'll lead me to know who my birth father is. I have some contacts through the DNA also for him. I'm just treading a little lightly for him because I believe at the time he was married. So I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to cause any problems. So, I want to talk to her about that before I go any further with it. But the second feeling was, I now have this birth family, and it made me feel a little disconnected from my adoptive family. And I love my adopted family so much. Oh my goodness. I have a great mom, great dad. You all know I love my sister. And I am a little excited to have a half brother. I will tell you that. I don't know. There was this feeling that I have this one place to belong, and now I have a second place to belong. And so it took away from that first place. And I don't know. That was a weird feeling, and that caught me off guard. And that's probably what I've shed the most tears over, is I don't want this to make me feel any distance from my adoptive family. This wasn't to replace anybody, ever. This was only to add on, to know, for curiosity, for medical history. But there's just something that I didn't expect to make me realize that I'm not blood related to my adoptive family. There is a second place that I belong. I don't know. I'm dealing with those feelings. It's hard to put into words, so I hope I'm making sense. But yeah, so that's where we're at in this journey. I thank you all so much for coming along for the ride. It's been wild. And we're not done, because I want to meet her. And I want to share that with you guys, if possible, in some form. And so this will continue. So, all right, I'm going to leave you with this. So I look forward to updating you, because it should be a meeting, the next update. So, all right, you guys, have a wonderful day. I hope you get to do a little diamond painting. Bye.